This is the new KTM 390 Adventure R in the flesh. And in this video, I'm heading out for my very first ride on this new bike to find out how it performs. Will it live up to the hype? Will it handle the punishment in this world of adventure riding? There's only one way to find out. Time to head to those trails. G'day two-wheel adventurers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well as usual. Now, as you can see right here, this is a 2025 KTM 390 Adventure R. That is a little bit of a mouthful. But this bike right here, it is mine. I own this one. I've been riding a few cool bikes in the last 12 months, but this one's different. It is all mine. I can do whatever I want with this thing. It's going to be around on the channel long term, and we're going to see what we can do with the KTM 390 Adventure R, what mods we can do. Is it any good to start with, and does it perform in the world of adventure? That's what I'm here to find out. So if you like that, subscribe to the channel because you'll be seeing a heck of a lot more of this thing into the future. But for today, this is literally my first ride on the bike. I got it yesterday and I'm straight out here onto the dirt to test it out and have some fun. I did about 50 kilometers to get to here, which was all on road, and that was absolutely beautiful, smooth as on this thing. So the on-road test is a big tick for the 390. It was very smooth. The screen up front blocking the wind, it was unreal. The power was plenty to get the job done, and that seat was actually pretty comfy for that first bit of riding. But the most important parts for me is how does it go in the dirt. So we've got a bit of a loop around here. It's nothing too hard or technical. I don't want to send it into anything too crazy to start with, especially since it's my bike. I do not want to destroy this thing, but I'll flick it into off-road mode, get this loop going, just have a bit of fun and see what the 390 Adventure R can do. But first things first, as I said, I got this yesterday, so I have not played around with anything on this really at all. Had a quick look on the modes, but I haven't really tested them out. So we've got 3 modes to go through here. I'm in street, all the way to here I was in street, but we're going into off-road mode here. Once I figure out how to do it, there we go. Into off-road mode, configure it. ABS is in off-road. You can customize each mode as you want, but obviously for off-road I'm going to want as much of this stuff off as I can. So traction control, get rid of that. Throttle response, it's in off-road. I'll leave it for now, and the display I don't need to change that. So ABS is, can we turn that off? No. So ABS is always on the front, but it's off on the rear in off-road mode, and that just changed the screen. I didn't notice that. So when it's in street, shows a lot more info. Off-road, not so much, just what gear you're in, speed, and if you've got fuel. That's about all you need to know. So let's see how we go around this loop. Whoa. Throttle response in the off-road mode, immediately a whole lot better. Now, the tyres that come on this bike are Mitas Enduro Trail, or Trail Enduro. They're at least a 50-50 tyre, maybe a little bit better than that, but not a full knobby, but they should be good enough through in here, as long as we don't hit any crazy mud. So as I said, this is my first ride, first impressions of this bike, but once I've done a little bit of riding and got a feel for this thing out here and shown you that, I'm going to sit down, we'll have a chat. Why did I buy this bike? Why did I choose this 390 Adventure R over other bikes on the market at the moment? Suspension is plush. It's nice through this stuff. I'm not pushing it, obviously, but this is probably just a little bit more technical than your general fire trail, but there's some decent bumps here, and this suspension is just soaking it up with ease. It's not bothered at all. One thing I am noticing already, which I had heard from some other reviews, does stall out pretty easy, this thing, like that. I don't know if I just need to adjust the clutch because I've got 2 fingers behind it and 2 on it. Maybe it just needs a little bit extra play, I don't know, but I have been stalling it a bit more than I feel like I should be. But through this stuff, it is fun. And into the muddy pit of death, which we will avoid, because I could think of nothing worse than start again. A new bike into the mud. So as I did say already, I only got the bike yesterday, so she's stock as a rock. All I've done before coming out here is take the pillion pegs off, and I chucked these covers that come with it that go back in that place. Probably don't really need them there, but I put them there anyway. And the only other thing I've done is attach my quad lock under here. So I've got a phone for some mapping, GoPro mount, and that is it. I haven't done anything else. She's stock as a rock and going alright so far. Keep cutting around this loop, having some fun. I can hear some other bikes out here ripping around. It's a weekend, so see who else we can find out here. I don't think we'll find too many of these out here. They're only just starting to pop out into the market at the moment, so might be the only one out here, I reckon. Go the little 390. Go, go, go. Too easy for the big 390, alright? I'm going to call it the big 390. I don't know where to go. Let's go back down this way. Now I know some of you might be thinking, why did you buy this? You know, it's only a 390, so 400 basically. Wouldn't you want something bigger for adventure? But I'm here to show you that it doesn't matter if you have a 1000cc monster or a little 400 or even a 300. If it's set up right, you can have the adventure of a lifetime. You don't need to go and spend 30 grand on the biggest, flashiest thing. I'm not saying this isn't flash. For what this thing costs, I think it's pretty flash. But I'm just saying, you don't need the biggest bike, most expensive, most power, especially if you plan on taking it off-road like this. It would do me no good as the average rider. I know if you're talking about a pro rider or someone like that, yeah, they probably get the most out of it. But for your average rider like me or a beginner, you don't need the biggest bike with the most power. Like, it would literally do you no good to have that out here. But I can't even use all the power this little 390 has. Sorry, the big 390. I can't use all the power it has out here on these trails. So what do you think I'd be doing on a 700, an 800, a 1000cc? I'd be probably going even slower because it would weigh another 100 kilos. So just something to think about. But that's why I've bought this thing, to try and show you all that the little bikes, they're not just for beginners, you're intermediate, or even if you're a more of an expert level rider, I think these things will probably surprise you what they can do. Now it's an adventure bike, christened, going down a track I don't know anything about. That's one of the reasons why I wanted a little adventure bike like this one, because I don't want to get to tracks like this and be too afraid to dive on in and see where it goes. This is what it was built for, this sort of stuff. It's not a single track machine, it's not an enduro weapon, but home on some, I would say, reasonably tough twin track adventure trails. This is what it was made for. This is a bike that likes to rev though. It feels at home, sort of around that, it doesn't have it on the screen there. On the other one, the street one, it did, I think around like say 5,000 RPM. That's where it feels at home, which is a bit different to how I usually ride. I'm a bit slack and just chug along. So it's something to get used to for me. And I think some different tyres on this would be great too. Not that these are bad, they're a good all-rounder, but someone like me, most of my adventures are off-road as much as possible, so not too worried about the street performance with the tyre. I'll give up a bit of that for the off-road stuff. So why did I decide to buy this KTM 390 Adventure R? Well, I've been looking for a new adventure bike for about 3, maybe even 4 months or so. Checking out a few different ones. There's plenty of other ones that I do kind of like, but the main reason I've gone towards this that made me look at it initially is the price. I just couldn't justify at the moment going out to buy a 20-25 grand adventure bike. Just wasn't affordable for me. Once you start adding mods onto something like that, you're going to be spending even more. So to have the start point of this at 11,295 right away as it is, and it has a fair bit of stuff on it already that you're going to need, I couldn't really say no to that sort of price. Everything in this day and age in 2025 is getting more and more expensive, so to see how far your dollar can go, that's a major factor with anyone when they're buying a new adventure bike or whatever bike it may be. The second reason is I've been really excited since this one got announced. I've seen it announced and I really like the look of it, and I know there is a lot of noise around this bike and the Enduro R as well. A lot of people are interested, and I know there's a lot of orders in for these as well currently. So for me, someone who creates content with adventure riding, motorcycles, it's a bit of a no-brainer to get something like this that has a lot of interest around it, and it'll be a good way for me to make some content. And the third reason is I just like the look of it. I've never owned a KTM. The orange has always just been something that turns me off. I never like the orange, there's too much of it going on, but this bike here with a fair bit of white and black combo going on there, a little bit of orange, but I do like the look of it. And as I said, price is pretty good, and for all the features that you get, I'm pretty happy with that. Will I be happy with this purchase in 6 months, 12 months down the line? Who knows? That's what we're here to find out. Are these bikes going to go the distance? No one really knows yet. I've seen a lot of content getting around of people doing reviews after a few days of riding, but I haven't seen a whole lot out there of people living with the bike day to day and having it for an extended period of time. So I'm hoping that's sort of what I can do, and we can just see what kind of build we can do. If there's any companies out there watching this that want to jump on board, any products they want to test out, because I know it is a pretty new bike to the market, so there'll be plenty of things to test out and trial and see what we can come up with. But that's my reasons of why I've chosen the KTM 390 Adventure R over some of the other bikes out there. Got the WP Apex suspension, which so far is pretty good. You've got to remember this is an adventure bike, so Not expecting to have dirt bike suspension, that's for sure, but so far that's doing a good job. I will dial that up for my next ride and see how we go. Rear feels good. I want to get a tail tidy on this bike straight away. That's one of the first things you do, and then the next things will be protection items like a bash plate, maybe some pads to put on the side to protect all the plastic from getting scratched to bits. Might change the mirrors. I don't want to do too many things straight up. I want to try and ride it in reasonably stock form, but the major one is trying to figure out a luggage setup. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. There isn't a whole lot of room down the side here for my normal luggage, so I'll have to find out what companies have got coming out, what we can sort out. Otherwise it might just be one big bag up on top here. But I've got some handguards on here. They're not proper bark busters. If they drop it they'll probably just break, but good for stopping the wind for now. Got the LC4 engine, same engine that's come in all of their Duke 390s. It's in the Enduro R as well, so hopefully should be a decently reliable engine. The only thing I'm questioning is the exhaust being down that low. Will that be an issue in water crossings if you stall it in the water? I don't know. Something to find out, or hopefully not find out, one of the two. 14 litre tank, which is good. Should be some good distance travelled on one tank of fuel. Seat so far so good. The screen up the front here is absolutely unreal. If I can find my key. Right, ready to race. Off-road screen, beautiful. USB-C point straight on the bike. That is handy, that's for sure. All the buttons on here really easy to use and figure out. If I can figure it out, anyone can figure it out. And the front look of this bike I love. The headlight set up, the screen, the guard there, it just works. I think it just works. But enough dribbling, let's keep riding. I'm going to do another loop around this bit. Well, that is it for the first hit out on the new 390 Adventure R. Fun little bike. I can tell I'm gonna have a good time building this thing up and actually going on some proper adventures, and yeah, we'll make some memories. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you got any questions about the 390 Adventure R, down in the comments. Any suggestions of what I should do to the bike, down in the comments. Love to read all of your comments all the time, and thanks so much for the support. Make sure you like the video if you did enjoy it and you like Team Orange, KTM, and make sure you subscribe before you go to see the full build video and any adventures I take this thing on. I am getting to ride the Enduro R in another just over a month, so hopefully I can do a comparison of the two, or just give you the thoughts on the Enduro if you're interested in that one. But thanks so much for watching. Stay safe on your own two-wheel adventures. See you in the next one.